Today's reading from the Old Testament, Leviticus chapter 14, verses 29 through chapter 15, verse 33. And he puts the remnant of the oil which is on the palm of the priest on the head of him who is to be cleansed, to make atonement for him before Yahweh. And he has made one of the turtle doves, or of the young pigeons, from that which his hand reaches to, even that which his hand reaches to, one a sin offering and one a burnt offering, besides the present, and the priest has made atonement for him who is to be cleansed before Yahweh. This is a law of him in whom is a plague of leprosy, whose hand does not reach to his cleansing. And Yahweh speaks to Moses and to Aaron, saying, When you come into the land of Canaan, which I am giving to you for a possession, and I have put a plague of leprosy in a house in the land of your possession, then he whose the house is has come in and declared it to the priest, saying, Some plague has appeared to me in the house. And the priest has commanded, and they have prepared the house before the priest comes in to see the plague, that all which is in the house is not unclean. And afterward the priest comes in to see the house. And he has seen the plague, and behold, the plague is in the walls of the house, hollow streaks, greenish or reddish, and their appearance is lower than the wall. And the priest has gone out of the house to the opening of the house, and has shut up the house for 7 days. And the priest has turned back on the 7th day, and has seen, and behold, the plague has spread in the walls of the house. And the priest has commanded, and they have drawn out the stones in which the plague is, and have cast them to the outside of the city, to an unclean place. And he causes the house to be scraped all around inside, and they have poured out the clay which they have scraped off at the outside of the city at an unclean place. And they have taken other stones and brought them to the place of the stones, and he takes other clay and has coated the house. And if the plague returns and has broken out in the house, after he has drawn out the stones, and after the scraping of the house, and after the coating, then the priest has come in and seen, and behold, the plague has spread in the house. It is a fretting leprosy in the house. It is unclean. And he has broken down the house, its stones and its wood, and all the clay of the house, and he has brought them forth to the outside of the city, to an unclean place. And he who is going into the house all the days he has shut it up is unclean until the evening. And he who is lying in the house washes his garments, and he who is eating in the house washes his garments. And if the priest certainly comes in and has seen, and behold, the plague has not spread in the house after the coating of the house, then the priest has pronounced the house clean, for the plague has been healed. And he has taken 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop for the cleansing of the house. And he has slaughtered 1 bird and an earthen vessel over running water. And he has taken the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and has dipped them in the blood of the slaughtered bird, and in the running water, and has sprinkled again the house 7 times. And he has cleansed the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. And he has sent the living bird away to the outside of the city, to the face of the field, and has made atonement for the house, and it has been cleaned. This is the law for every plague of the leprosy, and for scale, and for leprosy of a garment and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to direct in the day of being unclean, and in the day of being clean. This is the law of the leprosy. And Yahweh speaks to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and you have said to them, When there is discharging out of the flesh of any man, he is unclean from his discharge. And this is his uncleanness in his discharge. His flesh has run with his discharge, or his flesh has stopped from his discharge. It is his uncleanness. Every bed on which he who has the discharging lies is unclean, and every vessel on which he sits is unclean. And anyone who comes against his bed washes his garments, and has bathed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And he who is sitting on the vessel in which he sits, who has the discharging, washes his garments, and has bathed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And he who is coming against the flesh of him who has the discharging, washes his garments, and has bathed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And when he who has the discharging spits on him who is clean, then he has washed his garments and has bathed with water and been unclean until the evening. And all the saddle on which he who has the discharging rides is unclean. And anyone who is coming against anything which is under him is unclean until the evening. And he who is carrying them washes his garments and has bathed with water and been unclean until the evening. And anyone against whom he who has the discharging comes and has not rinsed his hands with water has even washed his garments and bathed with water and been unclean until the evening. And the earthen vessel which he who has the discharging comes against is broken, and every wooden vessel is rinsed with water. And when he who has the discharging is clean from his discharge, then he has numbered 7 days for himself for his cleansing, and has washed his garments, and has bathed his flesh with running water, and been clean. And on the 8th day he takes 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons for himself, and has come in before Yahweh to the opening of the tent of meeting, and has given them to the priest. And the priest has made them one a sin offering and one a burnt offering, and the priest has made atonement for him before Yahweh because of his discharge. And when a man's seed from intercourse goes out from him, then he has bathed all his flesh with water, and been unclean until the evening. And any garment or any skin on which there is seed from intercourse has also been washed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And a woman with whom a man lies with seed from intercourse, they also have bathed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And when a woman has discharging, blood is her discharge in her flesh. She is in her separation for 7 days, and anyone who is coming against her is unclean until the evening. And anything on which she lies in her separation is unclean, and anything on which she sits is unclean. And anyone who is coming against her bed washes his garments, and has bathed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And anyone who is coming against any vessel on which she sits washes his garments, and has washed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And if it is on the bed or on the vessel on which she is sitting, in his coming against it, he is unclean until the evening. And if a man really lies with her, and her separation is on him, that he has been unclean for 7 days, and all the bed on which he lies is unclean. And when a woman's discharge of blood flows many days within the time of her separation, or when it flows over her separation, all the days of the discharge of her uncleanness are as the days of her separation. She is unclean. Every bed on which she lies all the days of her discharge is as the bed of her separation to her, and every vessel on which she sits is unclean as the uncleanness of her separation. And anyone who is coming against them is unclean, and has washed his garments, and has bathed with water, and been unclean until the evening. And if she has been clean from her discharge, then she is numbered 7 days for herself, and afterwards she is clean. And on the 8th day she takes 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons for herself, and has brought them to the priest, to the opening of the tent of meeting. And the priest has made one a sin offering and one a burnt offering. And the priest has made atonement for her before Yahweh because of the discharge of her uncleanness. And you have separated the sons of Israel from their uncleanness, and they do not die in their uncleanness, in their defiling my dwelling place which is in their midst. This is the law of him who has the discharging, and of him whose seed from intercourse goes out from him to become unclean with it, and of her who is sick in her separation, and of him who has the discharging, his discharge of the male or of the female, and of a man who lies with an unclean woman.
Today's reading from the New Testament, Mark chapter 7, verses 11 through 37. And you say, if a man may say to father or to mother, Corban, that is, a gift, is whatever you may be profited out of mine. And you no longer permit him to do anything for his father or for his mother, setting aside the word of God for your tradition that you delivered, and many such things you do, like things you do. And having called near all the multitude, he said to them, listen to me, you all, and understand. There is nothing from outside the man entering into him that is able to defile him, but the things coming out from him, those are the things defiling the man. If any has ears to hear, let him hear. And when he entered into a house from the multitude, his disciples were questioning him about the allegory. And he says to them, so also you are without understanding? Do you not perceive that nothing from outside entering into the man is able to defile him? Because it does not enter into his heart, but into the belly, and into the drain it goes out, purifying all the meats. And he said, that which is coming out from the man, that defiles the man. Or from within, out of the heart of men, the evil reasonings come forth, adulteries, whoredoms, murders, thefts, covetous desires, wickedness, deceit, arrogance, an evil eye, slander, pride, foolishness. All these evils come forth from within, and they defile the man. And from there, having risen, he went away to the borders of Tyre and Sidon. And having entered into the house, he wished none to know, and he was not able to be hid. For a woman, having heard about him, whose little daughter had an unclean spirit, having come, fell at his feet. And the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation, and was asking him that he may cast forth the demon out of her daughter. And Jesus said to her, first permit the children to be filled, for it is not good to take the children's bread and cast it to the little dogs. And she answered and says to him, yes, Lord, for the little dogs under the table also eat of the children's crumbs. And he said to her, because of this word, go, the demon has gone forth out of your daughter. And having come away to her house, she found the demon gone forth, and the daughter laid on the bed. And again, having gone forth from the coast of Tyre and Sidon, he came to the Sea of Galilee, through the midst of the coast of Decapolis. And they bring to him a deaf, stuttering man, and they call him that he may put the hand on him. And having taken him away from the multitude by himself, he put his fingers to his ears, and having spit, he touched his tongue. And having looked at the sky, he sighed, and says to him, Ephphatha, that is, be opened. And immediately his ears were opened, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he was speaking plain. He charged them that they may not tell no one, but the more he was charging them, the more abundantly they were proclaiming it. And they were being astonished beyond measure, saying, he has done all things well. He makes both the deaf to hear and the mute to speak. Today's reading from the Psalms, chapter 31, 11 through 17. I have been a reproach among all my adversaries, and to my neighbors exceedingly, and a fear to my acquaintances. Those seeing me without fled from me. I have been forgotten as dead, out of mind. I have been as a perishing vessel. For I have heard an evil account of many. Fear is all around, and their being united against me. They have devised to take my life. And I have trusted on you, O Yahweh. I have said, you are my God. In your hand are my times. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from my pursuers. Cause your face to shine on your servant. Save me in your kindness. O Yahweh, do not let me be ashamed, for I have called you. Let the wicked be ashamed. Let them become silent to Sheol.
Today's reading from the Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 15 and 16. Therefore his calamity comes suddenly. He is broken instantly, and no healing. These 6 has Yahweh hated. Indeed, 7 are abominations to his soul.